So one of the more invisible yet significant elements to growing Dì Dào herbs and Dì Dào mushrooms is the type of water that's used in the growing process. More and more, as traditional growing systems are on the rise, especially in China with Dì Dào, as people go back to tradition, they go back to those magical aspects, spiritual aspects of herbalism. You can see the awareness of how important the water is that is being used while those herbs and mushrooms are growing is just on a massive rise. And that's probably been the one area when people have been curious as to when they try a SuperFeast reishi mushroom and they'll say, this other company says that they're Dì Dào as well, but it's not the same. Why isn't it as effective? And I pretty much be able to guarantee one of the major elements is going to be the water that it's grown alongside with. We could technically say we are Dì Dào, stay in the same province or state, and because that's what the ancient texts say, you need to be Dì Dào, you need to grow, source this mushroom from this province. And what people miss is the element that says, yeah, but in the province, it's way away from industry, and it's way up in these mountainous crags or deep in this valley over here. What people will do is just say, yeah, it's in the province, and then they'll go and grow, maybe still on wood, but in these big growing facilities near a city where logistics are a little bit easier and you've got more space to work with. What happens there is you need to use municipal water at that point. And even though a lot of the time it will be filtered, which is awesome, I'm not saying this is a product that should be banished or anything like that, it just doesn't have the same quality. So SuperFeast reishi, for example, up in the Darby Mountains, is only going to have the influence of wild water from the wild rains up there and in these extremely rural areas, and it's only spring water that is used, that it's running through. I've tested this spring water. It is absolutely magical. I've drunk from that spring water. It's close to the source. And it's that adds the capacity for this mushroom to grow in a way that is so aligned to how it would be growing in the wild, because a wild mushroom has wild water accessible, and you can't get that same magic with municipal water. In ways where that's not doable, say with our lion's mane. Our lion's mane is grown in a place where there's not many springs around. So what we have, because we need to give it a little bit of a prompt along in order to make it possible for you guys to still access Dì Dào lion's mane, what we will need to use is just wet the straw little huts that they're grown in. They'll need a little prompt and a wetting every now and then. And in that instance, it can only be well water that's used. So it's still wild water, it's never municipal. And it is, I can't stress just how much of a difference it makes. It's in those of us who are fans of Dì Dào growing. Whenever I talk to the farmers over in China, remember these are independent farmers who really, they're just so proud of these herbs. They'll always say, they'll almost scoff at you if you talk about bringing, let alone pesticides or anything like that. They'll scoff at you if you suggest bringing in a municipal, essentially processed water to the process. And that's what we do, and that's why they are so special.